We're here again at one of the icons of Gawler. Of course it's a pub. There's lots of pubs here in Gawler, but we're at one of the most popular pubs here. It's a pub that's had its name changed over so many years, and a pub that's really personal to me. I think I actually had maybe my first date here a very long time ago. But I personally have spent a lot of time at this pub. There's lots of live music, there's art shows. This is the place to be for all the creatives, and even if you like a little cheeky craft beer. It's a pub that's inspired my photography, certainly over the years. It's called the Prince Albert Hotel, but locally it's known as the PA.
So the PA Hotel opened in 1847 as the new Bushman Hotel, and that was because the owner previously owned the Bushman Hotel on Cowan Street, and he basically got kicked out and built this hotel. In 1859 it was reopened by John McEwan, and that's what the sign out the front says. The sign is actually wrong. Right now we are going to go downstairs to the basement.
So here we are downstairs at the Prince Albert Hotel. Look, I must admit, it is quite fascinating down here, but there really isn't much to it. There's just two sort of main compartments. The hatch or trapdoor is behind the bar. It's a very tight squeeze. There's a lot of dust. There's a little bit of rubbish that's fallen through the cracks over the years, but look, again, this is a basement that kind of started it all for me. This is one of the first basements that I kind of visited. We brought the Gawler youth down here for a little photography session. Just a real good excuse to bring them into a place that not many people get to see in their entire lifetime. This pub is the only pub in the main street that has a pool table. Upstairs is very cool. It's got some real natural lighting, some nice long corridors. I've taken some of my favorite photographs upstairs. But yes, to give you an idea of where we are at the moment, we are right under the main bar. The second compartment that we'll go to at the moment will take you right under the fireplace, and the whole basement almost reaches out to the very front of the building. As you can see, this wall here next to me has been built up, and I'm always curious. You know, there's a few spots around here where there's a hole or something's been built up, and you know, I'd love to know what's behind there. Is it those fabled tunnels that run under the main street, or even the rumour of a tunnel that runs up to the hospital? Who knows? But we're going to take it over to Alan now, and he's going to give you a bit more history of the place and maybe a few special stories about the Prince Albert Hotel.
We are in the basement of the PA. We are in the second room. As you can see, there's a kind of windy, rounded tunnel that heads back that way. There have been lots of rumours of tunnels under the main street of Gawler, and this is the epicenter of those rumours. One of the tunnels apparently goes from this room over to the Gawler Arms Hotel, but as you can see, there's no evidence of a tunnel existing. Now, in this corner over here, there is a little walkway through, and this is where it's thought the tunnel that goes all the way up to East Terrace to the Hutchinson Hospital was built. Now, the Hutchinson Hospital opened in 1913, and it would have taken a few years to build a tunnel, but as you can kind of see, there is no tunnel. The rumours remain an urban legend, unfortunately. So as you can see, a lot of these are the original walls, but there's areas that have been built up. So in the tunnel, there's a whole bricked up area, same kind of bricks as this, but much, much newer. So there's something else there that's been enclosed, and we don't know why. There's also a large pile of dirt here. Where's that come from? Obviously not in the rooms we're in. And just up here, the hearth of the fireplace, just up in the dining room. So we are under basically the front door. So the orange front door would be just over here on this wall. And as you come through, there's a table and a fireplace. This is that fireplace right here. And now we're going to take you up to the top floor to talk about some ghosts. PA Hotel, and the ghost up here has been dubbed John. No one actually knows who he is, but it seems John doesn't particularly like some of the chefs. And I've just been told that sometimes the chefs who are very much non-believers will make jokes about John, and he'll throw things at them like boxes, or he'll knock pans off the oven or off the shelves nearby. Now the owners have just told me that sometimes they sit at table 5 down at the ground floor, and they often see a black shadow that comes up the staircase. They saw the shadow going up, and the owner thought it was her partner, and she turned around to see her partner coming around the bar. They knew no one else was in here because they opened the pub in the morning and it's just the two of them. And one of the other freaky things that happens in this pub is people report smelling smoke, and it's happened often. At least one occasion where a lot of staff came upstairs because the smoke was actually visible and they could smell it, they could see it. No smoke alarms were going off, and as they got up here into this section, the smoke just dissipated and the smell went away. Truly weird. There has been a few deaths up here, 4 that I know of, but there are 2 rumoured deaths that are undocumented. One is a suicide and the other is the death of a little girl. The little girl is also seen up here, but this particular hallway is where John likes to come through. And if you don't acknowledge John, John will slam doors and get very, very angry until you do acknowledge him. So the owners, when they enter the pub every day, they say, "Hi, John." John was the name of one of the former publicans, John McEwan, but John didn't actually die here. But he may have just come back to haunt his old pub. So that's the PA's haunted history. And like many other pubs, which are central areas where people get together and they celebrate or they commiserate, there's a high energy here. And like many other pubs as well, the people that haunt it tend to be the people who have owned it or the people who drink a lot in these pubs. So the spirits at the bar aren't the only spirits in the PA Hotel.
Very good. You've done that before.
That was a bit of a look at the basement in the Prince Albert Hotel. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank former owner Stacey for giving us access to the basement. Thank you so much for that. Of course, Alan Tiller for all the information and the spooky stories, and any artists that have contributed to our exhibition. That was the Prince Albert Hotel. Thank you.